Deep Dive with David Stendhal, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey, it's David Stendhal with tonight's Deep Dive. It is June 5th, 2018, and we're going to be talking about the euro today because it's actually at a spot right now that we're starting to unwind some of our short positions. And what I'm finding is that it's now backing up and hitting some resistance to the market. And so I just want to point out that there's been a little bit of action going on here. So let's just kind of run through some of the numbers here. So here's the euro. The long ETF would be FXE. We've got the trend still pointed to the downside across the board, but the technicals are still quite positive here. Now recently what we've had here again for the euro, we've had a number, we got 4 of them here: a surge, a stretch, a pulse, and a dazed, all different time frames. Some 4 days ago, a couple of them just from a day or so ago, but they're all pointing for a low, so that obviously wouldn't bode well for our short position. And so we've been able to unwind some of these positions as of late. Here's daily bars here for the euro. You can see those pro alerts that I was just referring to. A lot of those popped up here in the last day or so, kind of calling for this low that did in fact occur. But we're now having popped up a little bit. Now some of our systems are beginning to unwind, and I'll show you what the concern is here with the euro. This support level and or resistance level, depending upon where we are, is the one that's in action. If you see, if I go all the way across, it's basically butting up against the highs that were set today and some of these other highs across the board here. And so we're up against a form of resistance right now. Now, we were short the market, having been able to take advantage of a lot of this move to the downside. I'll show you a trade here in a second. What we were able to do is take a little bit of an advantage of the pop here, so we unwound a long position. The longer term trends, we were able to take advantage of the shorts that took place here. But what you're going to find is that when we're up against this resistance right now, we're going to see what does take place here in the coming days. So first thing is I want to give you this number. The support level, in this particular case, it's called support on the chart, so you can see it there at the bottom. It's actually acting as resistance because we're below it, but it's 1.17497 for the exact number, and I'll post that in the blog part. But I just want to at least make sure that you realize that we're up against that particular resistance to the market. Now, the system that we liquidated here, I'll do it this way. We had a long that was liquidated today, a little bit of a profit with that little bounce in the market. We had a short that was also liquidated today. That one got chopped up a little bit, and this one actually had a loss. And this Polaris, it says not applicable here on the time because it's a daily system, and that will correct itself. But that one liquidated, and this had been in a trade for quite some time. So what I want to do is show that trade to you so you can get some perspective that we're not just short-term oriented. These are daily bars. So back on 4/20 of this month, or this year, so April 20th, we've been short this entire time frame. Some of the shorter term systems were able to take advantage of a portion of this this little bull reversal, if you will, but we're now up against that resistance, and our systems saw fit to liquidate the daily bar system. But that doesn't mean that we're completely out of our shorts. What I want to show here is these are the existing positions that are still there. A weekly that's been in a short position just as long as that daily system. So you can see that it's up around 7,600. I believe that the daily system made around 7,600 in itself. We also have 2 other short positions, a daily and 120-minute bar. So the reason I'm pointing this out is, although we're unwinding some of our short positions and having taken advantage of at least a little bit of a pop in the market with that long position, net right now we've got 3 short positions, and it's these positions that I'm a little concerned with, that if we're able to break above, if I pull the TradeStation back up, I'm a little concerned with those short positions, because if we break above this major resistance to the market right now, then I feel pretty strongly that there could be a bit of a bounce. There'd probably be a little bit of a recovery back to the downside, sort of a testing of that breakage. But it's one of those things that it could be fairly violent if it is able to break above this level, and that could obviously adversely affect our short positions. So if we find true resistance here and the market starts to taper off, then the lows that were set just a few days ago will probably act as support to the market. You can see that it's already starting to build this little cyan blue dot that's right here. That would be equivalent to one of these blue dots, and what it's doing is it's already referencing the lows that were set here back at the end of May. It's already referencing that as a support to the market, and that's going to continue to build over time, and we'll find out whether or not it turns into a 50, which is strong support, or is it just going to be a nothing type condition where it starts and then kind of peters out and only is a 7 or or less than a 10, if you will. But whatever the case will be, we're at one of those points right now that the thrust to the market had been strong enough that it stemmed the flow to the downside, but it's now running up against resistance to the market. So do watch this level, and if we're able to break above that, then we would anticipate that a lot of our systems, the 3 remaining short positions, a weekly, a daily, and an intraday, as a minimum, I would expect the intraday 120-minute bar system to liquidate. The weekly could take a little extra effort to liquidate, and hopefully perhaps the swing-based daily bar system, the Sirius system, in that particular case, we would anticipate that might actually liquidate as well, and it would probably give back a little bit of the profit that we have here on an open bar basis for this weekly and daily bar system. But at least as a minimum, it's always nice to see our systems be able to take advantage of trends. And it's not going to catch the exact top, it's not going to catch the exact bottom, but it's able to take out the vast majority of it. So this in itself, this particular trade was around 7,600 per contract, so it's not too shabby when you have those types of trades. Now granted, it is, you've been in a trade for a long time, but that did capture the vast majority of the trend so far. If it begins to sell off, I've pointed out that we still have some short positions. If the market is able to break above that resistance to the market that we're up against right now, then obviously these other systems will unwind themselves, and this will look like a much better trade. So time will tell and see what does take place, but I'm just making sure that A, where their support and resistance levels are, and B, the fact that the systems are beginning to unwind in part because of something that you all have access to, which was these pro alerts that were suggesting that when you get a number of these conditions all occurring at the same time, that it's really building out some type of a base and something that warrants obviously taking some action. And had you been short, as our systems were, you'd be looking to for an instance and a situation to unwind those types of conditions. So that will at least give you an idea as to what's taking place with the euro, and we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.